What if I told you a gorilla understood death better than most humans? That she grieved for lost loved ones, made dirty jokes, and left us a warning about our own extinction? This is not science fiction. This is Koko, the gorilla who shattered everything we thought we knew about being human. Have you ever heard of a gorilla who could communicate with humans in sign language, played with kittens, made jokes, knew how to drive a car, and understood over 1,000 words? And what if I told you that this gorilla contemplated death and even left the world with a chilling message before passing away forever? Today, I'll tell you the incredible story of Koko, the gorilla who made us rethink the boundary between human and animal intelligence. On July 4th, 1971, U.S. Independence Day, a baby gorilla was born at the San Francisco Zoo. She was named Hanabi-ko, which means fireworks child in Japanese. Later, her name was shortened to simply Koko. At the time, no one could have imagined that this little gorilla would one day change our understanding of what animals are capable of. Koko's childhood was not easy. As a baby, she fell ill and had to be separated from her mother for treatment. When she was finally returned, her mother rejected her, refusing to accept her as her own. The young gorilla was left alone in a cage with other unfamiliar gorillas, but fate had something special in store for her. In 1972, a young Stanford University student named Francine Patterson, known as Penny, decided to take care of Koko. Penny was working on her doctoral thesis about communication with great apes and wanted to teach sign language to a gorilla. At the time, gorillas were considered less intelligent compared to other primates and were seen as aggressive, making scientists reluctant to interact with them. But Penny's experiment completely changed that perception. Koko's training wasn't easy at first. When humans learn sign language, instructors can physically guide their hands into the correct positions, but Koko wouldn't allow anyone to touch her. So Penny had to show Koko an object and then demonstrate the sign for it over and over again. However, it turned out that Koko had an astonishing ability to learn. The first sign she showed Penny was for drink, a finger touching her lips while the others were bent. Over time, a genuine friendship developed between the scientist and the gorilla. Koko was even moved from the zoo to a special trailer lab on the university campus. The gorilla had her own room but was allowed to roam freely, even into Penny's space. For safety, there was a cage in the trailer, but it was never used. By the age of 3, Koko could reliably use around 200 words in sign language. She didn't just learn the names of objects, she could also express her emotions. When shown a picture of another ape taking a bath, something Koko disliked, she signed, "Me cry there." Upon seeing a horse with a bit in its mouth, the clever gorilla immediately signed, "Horse sad, teeth." The most astonishing thing was that Koko didn't just understand and use sign language, she also had a real sense of humor. Once, she called herself a good bird and claimed she could fly, only to admit she was joking. Another time, she pulled Penny's hair and then laughingly apologized. This showed that Koko possessed what scientists call theory of mind, the ability to understand that others have their own thoughts and feelings. If Koko didn't know the name of an object, she invented her own by combining known words. For example, she called a ring a finger bracelet. Doesn't that make sense? After all, a ring really does look like a bracelet for a finger. This linguistic creativity also appeared in other situations. When she first saw a mask, she called it an eye hat. Looking into an empty cup, she signed, "Drink no." This ability to create new words proved that Koko didn't just memorize signs, she truly understood their meaning. Skeptics claimed that Dr. Patterson was simply training Koko like a circus animal, but the facts proved otherwise. When alone, Koko played with her dolls and talked to them in sign language for long periods. She even tried communicating with other animals this way, and if they didn't respond, she'd switch to inanimate objects. Such behavior is hard to explain with simple conditioning. Various IQ tests estimated Koko's intelligence between 70 and 90, lower than the average human IQ, but still remarkable for an animal. She could draw at the level of a 4-year-old child, depicting her favorite toys and the world around her. Koko even had a boyfriend, a male gorilla named Michael, whom she also taught some sign language. Later, another male gorilla, Ndume, joined them, forming the world's first animal couple capable of communicating in human language. And they didn't just use signs to trade bananas. When Michael tore the leg off Koko's doll, she angrily called him a dirty, bad toilet. One of the most touching stories in Koko's life was her friendship with Kittens. On her birthday in 1984, she asked her caretakers for a cat. They brought her several stray kittens to choose from. Koko carefully examined each one and picked a tailless gray kitten, naming it All Ball. Koko cared for the kitten as if it were her own baby. She carried it gently on her back, cuddled it, and even tried to nurse it. Despite her size, the gorilla was incredibly gentle with her tiny companion. Tragically, the kitten later escaped the enclosure and was hit by a car. Koko's reaction to losing her beloved pet shocked even seasoned scientists. When told the sad news, she seemed stunned at first, sitting silently as if she hadn't heard. Then she began making soft, mournful sounds, deep, sorrowful vocalizations gorillas use to express grief. She signed sad and bad, pressing her hands to her cheeks, the sign for sleep, and repeatedly signing cat sleep, as if accepting that her friend had gone to sleep forever. After All Ball's death, Penny noticed Koko making sounds resembling human crying for days. She refused to play and kept signing sad. This ability to experience loss and express grief made Koko even more human-like. In later years, Koko was given new kittens. On her 44th birthday, she received 2 more, naming them Miss Black and Miss Gray. Videos of the massive gorilla gently petting a tiny kitten went viral, touching hearts worldwide. Koko wasn't just known for her intelligence, but also for her quirks. For instance, she had an unusual obsession with human breasts, sometimes expressing her curiosity through gestures. In 2005, 3 caretakers even filed complaints, alleging they were pressured to comply with Koko's requests. Koko had incredible self-awareness. At 19, she passed the mirror self-recognition test. Unlike most gorillas who see their reflection as another gorilla, Koko recognized herself immediately. She often gazed at her reflection, proof of her extraordinary self-perception. She loved watching movies, with Tea with Mussolini being her favorite. Whenever the saddest scene played, where the boy says goodbye to her family, Koko would turn away to avoid distress. Jurassic Park frightened her so much that she avoided her toy dinosaurs afterward, showing the depth of her emotional world. Koko's fame grew yearly. Her photo with All Ball appeared on National Geographic's cover, becoming one of the magazine's most iconic images. Celebrities like Robin Williams visited her, forming a heartwarming bond. When Williams tragically died in 2014, Koko visibly grieved, moping around all day. Beyond sign language, Koko learned to use a symbol-based computer that vocalized words she typed. She could also draw simple symbols, hold a pen, and even play instruments like the harmonica and recorder, something scientists once thought impossible for primates due to their respiratory structure. One of Koko's most mysterious traits was her understanding of death. When shown a skeleton and asked if it was alive or dead, she signed dead. Asked where dead gorillas go, she calmly replied, "A comfortable hole," then blew a kiss, prompting deep reflection on her grasp of mortality. In her final years, Koko became an ambassador for nature, urging humans to care for the planet. "Nature sees you," she signed, a haunting yet thought-provoking message, as if she felt responsible for all wild gorillas. On June 19, 2018, just weeks before her 47th birthday, Koko passed away peacefully in her sleep. Millions mourned her death as she had become a symbol of cross-species friendship. The Gorilla Foundation stated, "Her legacy will continue to shape our understanding of gorilla cognition and emotion." Koko's final message was clear: man is stupid, fix Earth. So ask yourself, if a gorilla could see the doom we're bringing on ourselves, why can't we? Will you listen before it's too late, or will you just keep proving her right?